I don't know how to put it into words, but I genuinely want to have a conversation about this. Okay, I genuinely, like, no disrespect, just a genuine conversation. With everything going on right now, especially in America, there's a lot of civil unrest. It's almost to the point where it's like a boiling point, where it's about to pop, where it's about to burst. Everyone is having civil unrest. It's like it's teetering onto something, but we don't know what it is yet, right? Everybody keeps saying, how could they do this? Why isn't anybody stopping anything? Like, what's going on? There was a Black woman that said, and I quote, "The reason why nobody is throwing the first stone is because they're waiting for Black people to throw it first." That has altered my brain chemistry because, mind you, we know the laws are going to come down to us. So of course we're going to try to stand up for others. And I've noticed immediately, especially with the ICE raids, we've seen videos of people saying, well, why aren't Black people stepped in? We did this, a transactional interaction. They tie it back to Black Lives Matter. Like, it's blowing my mind. I don't know how to explain it.
Many Black people in America are tired of protesting. From the civil rights movement to Black Lives Matter, protests have been a cornerstone of the fight for justice. But for many, the emotional, physical, and mental toll of protesting has become overwhelming. Let's break it down. Watch and pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
For my Black folks, I know y'all see these people trying to organize these protests. Do not go to them shit. I refuse to allow my people to be used as human shields to protect the rest of these motherfuckers. If they want to go out there and get unalived, then let them. But I don't want y'all to join them. All these motherfuckers on TikTok talking that shit, talking about where they meeting up at, all this dumbass shit. What y'all gonna do? March with some signs? You talking about a group of Proud Boys who just got pardoned by the president for beating up police officers. And you think that you gonna meet up with these folks or start, you know what I'm saying, protesting, and these people gonna meet up with you and they gonna what they gonna do? They just got through beating up police officers, G, and got pardoned. They riding on the high, homie. And you gonna get my people in the mix, want my people to protest with y'all? Fuck here. I want y'all to really be aware of how these people are trying to use you, trying to use your anger, trying to use, because Black people right now, I can see a lot of y'all are very emotional about everything that's been going on. Be careful about how people try to use that emotion and get you to do some stupid shit. What we need to focus on is getting in shape and staying dangerous. If they bring that racist shit to our front porch, we handle it how we handle it. But we don't need nobody else, I promise you. We don't need nobody else. So stay the fuck away from these motherfucking TikTok activists, all these fucking companies and brands. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. What these people saying. Because where was this energy when we was going through what the fuck we was going through? So fuck no. We good. Y'all stay dangerous out there. Get in the gym, get in shape, and fuck the rest.
Stop tagging me in Latino shit. I don't feel fucking good today, but I'm gonna say this shit. Stop tagging me in Latinos videos asking where the fuck Black people are because they march for Black Lives Matter. I don't give a shit if you on your hands and knees crawling in the goddamn street for us. We did what the fuck we were supposed to do. We voted correctly. To my recollection, there were thousands of y'all on this goddamn app saying that I'm a Mexican, I'm voting for Trump. I'm Latino, I'm voting for Trump. I'm Puerto Rican, I'm voting for Trump. I'm Cuban, I'm voting for Trump. Instead of asking us where the fuck Black people are, you need to be getting in house, figuring out why the fuck your people didn't vote for your safety. Y'all need to be dragging hoes out in the field and getting with it. Y'all need to be asking for the fade from your people. We have nothing to do with what's going on with y'all right now. We got our own shit to worry about, okay? It is not our fault that your people voted for you to get the fuck out of this country. They voted for you to get arrested. They voted for ICE to come pick up your family and separate y'all. They didn't give a shit about y'all. They didn't give a shit about their own people. I'm getting tired of y'all asking Black folks for help when we've already done our job. Y'all need to handle y'all own shit. I'm sorry, Frumpy's in office. Ain't no way in hell you gonna get my ass out there to march for y'all. I'm not catching no strays. Because as soon as we pick up the torch, y'all asses get to the back row and start clapping from a distance. Because now Black people got it. We ain't got it this time. You want to be mad at your own damn people. Y'all need to start having some infighting. Stop asking where the fuck Kamala Harris is. She's off duty. She did what she needed to do. Now she out living her best life, going to grocery shop with her man and going to concert. Y'all fucked around, now y'all found out. Get y'all house in order.
Okay, let me say this and let me be clear. For all of y'all out there, some of us as well, talking about Black folks, I don't know why y'all not doing nothing. Y'all need to get ready because y'all gonna be next. We've always been next. We've been first, we've been in the middle, and we've been last. We are aware of that. Do you think we sitting around here twiddling our thumbs, cheering because it's somebody else? Absolutely not. And just because you don't see black folks moving on this app don't mean we're not moving. We have learned to move not only in public, but in silence. Okay? So we understand that we are never safe in these United States and nowhere else, to be honest, because somebody, regardless of where you are, will always find a reason to dog out American black folks. And that's on period. So yeah, we know, we are full aware. And just because we're not moving in public don't mean we're not moving in silence. But here's what I would suggest y'all do. Get yourself and y'all community together so that way when we do come around, y'all will be ready. Because we stay ready. And that's on period. Okay?
Kamala wasn't supposed to win. Hear me out. Kamala did exactly what she was supposed to do. She was supposed to show black people that we actually are together. That's the first thing. The second thing is, that was our last fucking act of empathy for everybody else. Because that's what we was trying to do. We was trying to save everybody. You feel me? It's okay for everybody to be here when it come to black folks. We don't give a fuck. If you want to be a boy, girl, or a little pig when you wake up in the morning, be that. Okay? We were okay with that. But guess what? The universe said, nah, that's all I want you to see. It's always been y'all. It's always been y'all caring about everybody else. No, she did a job and she did a great fucking job. She did. But we gonna let this man show them. We gonna let him show them what it is. And who was vouching for everybody? It was always us. Now look at you. Fighting for your motherfucking rights. And you voted for that. Y'all literally voted for the man who called y'all this a little bit of time before he yeah, y'all voted for that man. Y'all voted for that man. He said a lot about everybody, but y'all was so focused on what he said for black folks that you thought that that's who he was finna try to give a hard time. That's what you thought, didn't you? Yeah, Kamala was the last straw for us. We tried. But y'all snoozed on black people. You snoozed. Now we gonna let y'all ass sleep and you mad. You need us next to you marching. Oh, no, stink a butt. Our last march was that vote for motherfucking Kamala. At this point, we don't have a choice but to embrace what the world is showing us. But let me show you what I'm seeing. I don't know what y'all seeing. But I see a lot of motherfuckers begging for the black people to come stand beside them. Even though you betted against us, y'all think y'all gonna play in our face like that though? Y'all think we that motherfucker? I don't know. What do you think? Tell me. What do you think? We tried to save y'all. You hear me? Because we actually cared about people. But now y'all wondering why, if y'all the 92% and you the 86%, why y'all not out here? Why the fuck would we do that, stinker butt? It seems black folks was the only people standing together. My very much vision that I want to see before I leave this earth is black people together. And let me tell you something. I think I seen it. I'm watching it. I'm looking at it right now today. I am happy. I am happy. I'm very much happy. So yeah, that's my perspective on what happened. And I hope that it might help somebody else. Kamala did exactly what she's supposed to do.
Like, I'm not going to allow y'all to rewrite history. Like, yes, the government is broken. And yes, our candidate didn't win. And yes, we have an orange toad in the White House. But let's be honest. The actions that Donald Trump is committing right now, the foundation for those actions was laid long before Donald Trump came onto the scene. The ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians did not start yesterday with Donald Trump's statement. It started 15 months ago. It started 75 years ago. It happened with our tax dollars, with our bombs, with our military, with our leaders co-signing that genocide. Leaders including Joe Biden, leaders including other folks within the Democratic Party who found that it was necessary to align themselves to an apartheid state than it was to align themselves to people who are fighting for a land that is so rightfully theirs. Calling for a ceasefire is both admirable, brave, and the necessary thing to do, but it is not the same thing as stopping an ethnic cleansing that only could have happened with our political, financial, and military support. And blaming third-party voters for that ethnic cleansing is wrong. Blaming Palestinians for that ethnic cleansing is wrong. Even if third-party voters fell in line and voted for Kamala, she still would have lost. You are blaming people who have suffered alongside you for white supremacists, because that is exactly what has led this country, what continues to lead this country. The difference is the mask is off. We can no longer hide behind political and humanitarian niceties. The world is finally seeing America for who it is. And if we don't face that reality, we're never going to get to a world that we so rightfully deserve, where the interests of the corporations do not supersede the interests of people and planet. Like, being right about the results of a political election is not the same thing as getting free as a result of those political elections. And baby, we are not free.
With everything going on right now, especially in America, there's a lot of civil unrest. It's almost to the point where it's like a boiling point, where it's about to pop, where it's about to burst. Everyone is having civil unrest. It's like it's teetering onto something, but we don't know what it is yet, right? Everybody keeps saying, how could they do this? Why isn't anybody stopping anything? Like, what's going on? There was a Black woman that said, and I quote, "The reason why nobody is throwing the first stone is because they're waiting for Black people to throw it first."
Back in 2013, I was helping this young lady with her master's level course. I forgot exactly what she was going for, but I was helping her with criminology. She was paying me to do her paper. She got no less than B's, and professors are smart. They can tell if you write them. I had to throw some mistakes in there. Anyway, I ran across literature and some studies that pretty much recognized, if I could just put it in a nice little nutshell, that the Black man is the original archetype for what the criminal is in the United States. Think about how the Black male body has been thrown around the criminal justice system for so long. And obviously, as we know, that is also followed up by the Black woman. The aggressive Black man is followed by the hostile or angry Black woman. And historically, we have been the scapegoat for all things coming down to punitive actions. Glaring example that I know everybody can relate to, the war on drugs. So how does this relate to what we're talking about right now? Well, a couple of ways. Number one, it gives the existing government a clear conscience about enacting martial law. It's par for the course to enact with force and aggression and violence when Black people do something that's out of pocket. Again, we've seen this historically, even if it was civil disobedience. Look at Jim Crow and the civil rights movement. I mean, again, seriously, look at the war on drugs and how many laws were changed and how many statutes were created. But the second and most dangerous and sinister thing that we have to look out for on both sides is that we're still not looked at as Americans. Because if you really get down to it, them waiting on us to go out to the front lines is a clear-cut sign that we are not worth the crash out. And on a very personal, deep level, as far as the community is concerned, that hurts. This nation, your rights, your children's rights, everybody involved is getting wronged right now. We love nothing more than to go out there and fight for them. But knowing that y'all don't fight for our children, our women, our men, our institutions, our culture, knowing that you don't fight like we fight for you, absolutely not. That's why this time around, it has to be white people that push the button. All right? You're going to have to fight for Americans, and Americans includes Black people, Hispanic people, Asian and Pacific Islander. White people are going to have to be the ones that free themselves from whiteness. And that's just the end of the story.
Protests have long been a tool for change in America. During the civil rights movement, Black leaders and activists risked their lives to demand equality. They marched, sat in, and spoke out against segregation, police brutality, and systemic racism. Their courage led to landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. But here's the thing, those victories came at a huge cost. Protesters were beaten, jailed, and even killed. And while their efforts brought progress, the fight was far from over. Fast forward to today, and we are still fighting many of the same battles. The Black Lives Matter movement, which began in 2013, has brought global attention to police violence and systemic racism. But for many Black people, protesting feels like a never-ending cycle. Every time a new video of police brutality or racial injustice surfaces, the call to protest rings out. And while many answer that call, others are exhausted. They are tired of marching for rights they should have had all along, tired of explaining why their life matters, and tired of seeing little to no real change. Protesting is not just emotionally exhausting, it is also dangerous. Black protesters are often met with disproportionate force from law enforcement. Tear gas, rubber bullets, and arrests are common, even during peaceful demonstrations. And let's not forget the backlash. Protesters are often labeled as thugs or unpatriotic, even when they are fighting for basic human rights. It is a heavy burden to carry. Despite decades of protests, systemic racism persists. Police violence, economic inequality, and voter suppression are still rampant. For many black people, it feels like no matter how much they protest, the system remains unchanged. It is not that black people do not care or do not want justice. It is that protesting often feels like a band-aid on a bullet wound. Real change requires systemic reform, and that is something protest alone cannot achieve. But here is the good news. Protesting is not the only way to fight for justice. Many black leaders and activists are turning to other methods like policy reform, community organizing, and education. They are building businesses, running for office, and creating programs to uplift their communities. Protesting is important, but it is not the only tool in the toolbox. And for many black people, focusing on long-term solutions feel more sustainable than constantly taking to the street. So what can we do first? Listen to black voices and understand why many are tired of protesting. Second, support systemic change by advocating for policies that addresses racial inequality. And finally, do not wait for a protest to take action. Educate yourself, have tough conversations, and be an ally in the fight for justice. And there you have it, guys. Don't forget to like and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.